I have some thoughts about this season, and I watched the video exactly kind of encapsulating how I feel about the season. It's not bad per se, but there's an underlying theme I'm noticing with Rick and Morty nowadays. Ever since like season 4, they did an episode where Morty's sperm cells combined with Summer's huge ass egg that they basically just incubated turned into a huge ancestral omnipotent baby named Naruto. They need to relax on this stuff. Someone from the writing team is not ruining the show, but it's making it the wrong side of weird. Okay, there's a good side of weird and there's a wrong side of weird.
I wish incest porn had a more mainstream appeal for a friend of mine.
This doesn't. The only time I ever see anybody talking about Rick and Morty now is when they've done something controversial in the recent episode, and then everybody forgets about it until next week when they do the same thing again, lather, rinse, repeat. Because somebody, and I'm not naming names, Dan, has some sort of fucked up fetish that they like to keep inserting into the show over and over again, and it's gotten to a point where there's no way they don't realize the people.
What is this photo?
I'm of course talking about incest.
Yep.
I don't know if YouTube is gonna be pissed at me saying that. It's really bizarre. Every time you think they're going back to their roots,
yeah, the Beth episode.
Bro,
yeah, this is the thing right here. I'm probably gonna censor this myself. But bro, this was one of the weirdest episodes of Rick and Morty in its whole 6 seasons. It didn't have some serious relevance to the story. It looked like it was just shock factor. It's still a cool episode because, it feels like I'm regurgitating what he's saying, so I'm gonna try to add some new stuff. But it's like this episode got an idea that everyone knew, and this is the formula of a good Rick and Morty episode. They have an idea what everyone knows. They Rick and Morty it in the sense that someone messes something up or finds a new way to do something, or some other aspect that you would never think of about this main concept is like an avenue for the episode. So for this episode, it's fortune cookies, and maybe fortune cookies are real, and it's a whole business behind it. That's a whole conspiracy theory that they control the whole world through fortune cookies. You know, that's very Rick and Morty like. That was cool. That was not cool.
Now, strangely enough, this weird fetish shit is nothing new for Rick and Morty. In the first couple seasons, there was a suspicious amount of times where Summer would pee her pants or talk about peeing her pants, or recount a time where she did pee her pants.
But then again,
enough for me to raise an eyebrow when I first watched the show back in 2015. And I wasn't the only one to pick up on this. I would not be shocked at all if some random writer were inserting this stuff in as some sort of creepy outlet for their fetish.
How many times do you think like something funny when you were younger, or like when you were just ignorant to something, is just it's just a way for a writer to get her fetish off? But I feel like I've been exploited my whole career of watching Dan Schneider TV shows. I feel like you go back to iCarly, Victorious, look for the feet stuff, look for some very fugazi stuff, and you'd be like, hey, yo.
At the very least, though, with the Summer shit, it's one-off lines here and there. They don't have Summer pees her pants, the episode. Not to mention the show itself was consistent.
Not yet. This was a good episode. Again, what happens when you sleep? Sleepwalking. How does that work? Is it a different consciousness? Then they bring it in and Rick abuses it. I remember I told you, he abuses it. The sleeping people have to do odd jobs for them while they're sleeping, but they don't want to be slaves no more. So then it's like a question of morality. Should you be working together, or should the sleepwalkers just be the daywalkers, bitches?
I guess. But they've begun taking up entire storylines with this shit.
You will have sex with your mother.
What was funny was everyone's reactions. Everyone was like, hey, yo.
People started to notice this back in the 4th episode of season 5, which features Morty's sperm becoming these walking, talking, sentient creatures. And so to lure them to a location where they can all be taken care of, they entice them through enlarging Summer's egg. Baby is created that is now forever roaming space. On its own, this was a pretty uncomfortable conclusion. After season 3, you can really feel the Smith.
Since when did Mordecai have teeth?
Ew. But then I have to wonder if the writers get some sort of affirmation after seeing the reactions to all this stuff. Like, at some point, does it turn around and become ironic for them? Like, we should do another episode. Well, don't you think that might give folks the wrong idea and make them think one of us has a fetish for that shit? Yeah? What's the fucking point in that?
Funny.
Like, has the show gone on for so—
It's funny, mate. We're in the writer's room, and we're obviously, fucking 6 seasons in, and we don't know what else we want to make an episode on, right? So, it's not like we want to do it intentionally, but once we start scraping through the bad ideas, the good ideas come on. And I'm sorry to say, mate, but every single one of the good ideas has something to do with incest. And guess what? We're having a whole season 7 out of incest. So there's nothing you can do about it, mate.
I'm willing to give the series the benefit of the doubt, but with how much of a trend this seems to be in animation, like that one baby Total Drama Island spin-off show and the creepy fairy thing, or the Powerpuff Girls reboot supposedly—
This is weird. Watch this. I'm not gonna talk. Watch this.
Having that one self-insert from the writer who would not only write a character into the show which not only looks scarily like him, not only is voiced by him, but Blossom is also in love with him and they animate multiple scenes of them being together. Okay.
Bro, that's a kid, bro. Nope.
Because like
not
I said, the
happening.
show's managed to pick up again. It's nowhere near as great as it once was, but for what it is, I've been enjoying the newer stuff well enough.
So
Again,
am
though,
I.
just cut it out with all the meta shit. But come
Just
on,
watch it
writers,
today.
just calm it down on all the stuff. I think you've met your quota for the season. Okay. Bye.
That was the episode. Or the video. Rick and Morty, it's up to you. I'm not gonna force you to change your ancestral episodes, but at the same time, I'm kind of begging you not to.